What's the craziest way you've ever been accused of breaking and entering? My dad and I had been saving for 3 years to take our dream trip to New York. We had Broadway tickets, restaurant reservations, and the crown jewel of our planning, an Airbnb in a Brooklyn brownstone with giant windows and a skyline view that cost more than my dad's car payment. We drove 16 hours straight from Ohio, surviving on gas station coffee and dad jokes that got less funny with every mile. By the time we pulled up, we were running on fumes and pure determination. There was already a car parked out front, but in New York that didn't raise any alarms. My dad grabbed the bag, I grabbed our confirmation email, and we unlocked the door exactly the way the instructions described. The place was perfect. Exposed brick, high ceilings, a kitchen straight out of a design magazine. We'd barely dropped our bags when the front door shook from the loudest pounding I'd ever heard. My dad froze. I froze. Then came the yelling. 4 men on the other side shouting about calling the police and demanding to know why we were in their house. My stomach dropped. I opened the door and found 4 guys dressed like they'd stepped out of a golf catalog, matching polos, khaki shorts, even boat shoes. The ringleader, a red-faced guy named Brent, wasted no time accusing us of breaking in. I pulled up our Airbnb confirmation, thinking this would clear everything up, but Brent pulled out his phone too, and it was the exact same booking, same property, same dates, same check-in time. I tried reasoning with them. Clearly this is a double booking mistake. Let's call the host and figure it out. Brent wasn't interested. He shouted that this was their bachelor party weekend and we had 5 minutes to get out before he called the cops. His buddy Owen started snapping photos of us, saying he was going to post them online as criminals caught red-handed. When we didn't move, Brent made good on his threat and called 911, except he didn't say anything about a booking error. He told the dispatcher that 2 strangers had broken into their vacation rental and were refusing to leave. He flat out reported us as burglars. 20 minutes later, a police car pulled up. Officer Ramirez walked in with his hand resting on his weapon, clearly expecting a crime scene. Brent immediately pointed at us, demanding arrests. The officer asked for documentation. We handed over our booking confirmation. Brent's group handed over theirs. Both matched. Both were valid. You could practically see the life drain out of the officer's face as he realized what was happening. He looked from us to Brent, back to the paperwork, and finally said, "So instead of calling customer support, you called the police and reported a burglary?" Brent stammered something about protecting their property. Officer Ramirez wasn't having it. He explained that filing a false report was a serious offense, and technically, since my dad and I had checked in first, we were the legal occupants. Brent and his friends would need to take it up with Airbnb like normal people. They tried arguing, but the officer cut them off and suggested they find a hotel before everything nearby sold out. The look on Brent's face as he dragged his golf clubs and suitcase back to the car was priceless. Once they left, Officer Ramirez turned to us, shook his head and said, "Enjoy your stay and good choice on the neighborhood." Then he walked out like he'd just aged 5 years from babysitting adults in matching polos. The rest of the trip was everything we'd hoped for. Shows, food, the skyline view. But every time we looked out those giant windows, my dad would smirk and say, "Still the best view in New York, especially without the Polo Patrol in it."